right, baby, we're back on the Cooligans Living Room FC, and Christian, what an honor. This is our first guest from camp. Oh, my God.
Yeah, just calling in, just checking in on us, you know?
Right. He actually was like, yo, you guys good? I'm like, hold on, let's start the cameras.
You got a lot going on.
This is amazing. This is the most exciting, the most excited I've ever been to say camp since I was a teenager. And I'm like, yo, we can't afford going to camp. No, this dude, absolutely amazing. Now plays in Portugal. You know what I mean? I feel like we got to have some patés de natas for my man, the one and only. You know him, you love him. Put your hands together for Reggie Cannon, everybody.
Thank you guys for having me, man. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely honored. Obviously, the last time we spoke to you, you were, a defender at FC Dallas. Now you are at Boa Vista. You are playing, obviously, for the U.S. men's national team. You are currently in camp. They are, as of the time we are speaking, none of the friendlies have happened yet, but obviously Jamaica and Northern Ireland are coming up. Now that you are pretty much based in Europe and called upon when the U.S. men's national team are playing matches, how is that feeling now? What's the confidence for Reggie Cannon feeling like?
Yeah, the transition to Europe was one that was much needed. The level over here is so much higher, and it's giving me so much more confidence when Greg calls on me. Because we have obviously a hectic schedule coming up with World Cup qualifiers, with the Olympics, Nations League. There's so much coming up that we got to have a really strong and deep group. I think that's going to be something that's really going to work for this group going forward. So I'm terribly excited for what's to come this camp.
Now, you playing in Portugal obviously changes a few things, right? Like, especially now, the focus is getting back on the men's national team, right? Focusing and staying in the men's national team, which you're obviously doing an incredible job. But yo, you seem more confident, right? Like, there's something about you. Like, have you learned to say, yo, y'all ain't shit in Portuguese? Like, have
you? In a sense, yeah. Even though the team's not doing well, individually I'm playing very well, and I'm really learning the ins and outs of Portuguese football and European football as a whole. Portugal is obviously a very tactical country when it comes down to it. So I'm learning a bunch from the new coach, and obviously from the players I'm surrounded by. I'm improving every single day. So my confidence is it's up there, but I'm obviously looking to improve every step of the way. I'm trying to be humble, and I'm trying to learn from the guys who are above me and the guys who are beside me.
And I'm curious about, you mentioned Boa Vista there, obviously are in a relegation battle, right? So coming from Major League Soccer to this scenario, what is the difference in how it genuinely feels of like, it is obviously every point matters. Yeah. How does that affect your day-to-day and preparation for the game and then game days themselves?
It's night and day. Every point, like you said, it shapes the week. If you lose the whole week, frustrated faces, guys kicking each other, no music in the locker room. It's that type of environment. It's life or death. And I think that's been the biggest factor going into this European Championship. I think it's night and day, and it makes the biggest difference in the world on the weekend. You have those 90 minutes to grasp those 3 points home or away. So. I think the young guys, especially on Boa Vista, are starting to learn that. But, because obviously we have such a young squad. But, this squad is very talented. And I think once things start coming together, this team's going to be really dangerous.
Now, you're obviously playing at the men's national team camp right now. I'm sorry, not playing. You guys are training at the men's national team camp right now. Greg Berhalter's system, right? We've talked about it in the past. Where do you see yourself in comparison to some of the other starters, some of the other folks that are coming in? You've been with the men's national team for a while, so you kind of have this. You're a blend of both, a little bit of a veteran at this point because you understand what's going on, but you mad young still. You're like, don't call me a veteran. That man's got no grades. You know what I mean? So like, how does it? Where do you see yourself right now? Do you see yourself still fighting for a position, or do you see yourself as someone who can come in and kind of show everyone else the ropes?
Yeah, I think obviously with the new names getting called into every camp, people making the transition from MLS to Europe, young guys transitioning from academies into the first teams in Europe. I think I have a little bit of a different role than a year or two ago. Guys look at me a little differently. Obviously, I feel old, like I always say. I feel like a veteran, but I'm only 22. Because I'm surrounded by guys that are playing at some of the biggest clubs in the world at a younger age. I think that's something to look forward to with this group. But obviously I want to lead these guys in the right direction because as talented as every team is, you're only as strong as each other. And the links are going to have to be strong going into World Cup qualifying because it's going to be tiring. Guys are going to be, exhausted, traveling, playing. And I think knowing me as relentless and as much of a fighter as I am, I think I bring a lot to this group, more so than just football. So I think, there's going to be a lot of factors and components going into the future.
Okay, and speaking of leading the group or showing a couple of people the ropes, thank you for getting Yunus Musa to agree to join the United States. I mean, look, that was a big deal. A lot of people were if you saw any of this must have been a concerted effort from everybody on the team, because anytime Musa posted anything on Instagram, it was American flags. It was right, like, yo, join
young
the
king, come to America, young American king.
What's that camaraderie like? But and also getting him to make that decision. It seems like the last couple years, the tide is turning as far as like dual nationals or quadruple nationals like Yunus Musa are. It feels like maybe we can talk about the U.S. soccer program, but it seems like the players themselves, like players want to play with this particular team.
Yeah, and I think it all really started when Serginho was making the decision between the two countries he didn't know, and we really just tried to befriend him. Obviously guys are nervous at their first camps, and that's a huge decision to make. But especially with Serge and Yunus, we really kind of rallied around them. We were positive around them. We showed them what it's like to be a team. We befriended them pretty quickly. We made them comfortable, and we showed what we're all about, changing the way the world views American soccer. And I think that's something both wanted to be a part of, obviously, with so much talent that they both carry. So I think it's something to be excited for in the future. But Yunus, I think, was a much harder one to reel in, because I remember, I think it was about, Greg called me like a week before they announced it that he committed, and he told me, we got some exciting news. And I was like, really? And he told me that, we got Yunus to commit. And I was like jumping up and down because, it's such a big deal. We don't want to waste that much talent. And Yunus is such a great kid, man. It's really looking up for the future of U.S. football.
All right, we'll be back with more Reggie Cannon right after this. He's playing music, he's doing his thing, and then he's like, I got something special, and brings in the Martin Luther King.
It's a Martin Luther King. It's the I Have a Dream speech.
Yeah,
and I don't know how else to explain it besides it's laid under what is quite possibly the most stereotypically EDM song of all time. So it starts off, I have a dream, and then it continues to the end of the first sentence, and then the beat drops, and that's when David Guetta just starts like dancing to the he's like, I don't know what y'all ain't dancing, I'm feeling it. Why is everyone crying?
I'm out here doing a two-step for Dr. King. I don't know about you.
Oh, I'm sorry if my shoulder bounce is trying to end hatred. what are y'all doing? I don't see y'all making remixes.
Okay, I'm trying to shimmy the racism away. Okay?
Special delivery. We got rid of racism.
Welcome back to the Cooligans Living Room FC. We are here with Reggie Cannon, and we have so much more to discuss with him.
Well, of all the new players, especially someone with Yunus and some of the other players that are coming in now, who is it that when you're defending against them in training and they're running towards you with the ball, you're like, not this dude again. Come on.
Yeah, I would definitely say going over 2 camps now, Yunus is definitely one of those guys, because when he runs at you, he's running at full speed. He keeps the ball really close to his foot. He's a very dangerous player, and that's something that, can't be taken for granted. I'm lucky he chose us, because he's a very talented guy.
Okay, yeah, and so this was we had mentioned this before, but Joao Cancelo of Manchester City mentioned they said who was the toughest player to defend against, and he said Christian Pulisic. And just to hear that from about a player on Manchester City saying that about an American player overall must bring the confidence up of the entire program.
Exactly. And a player like Joao Cancelo, who is arguably, the best fullback in the world right now, or top 2, top 3, to say that defending against Christian Pulisic, which I can attest to multiple times, it's something to behold, because this group has taken so many steps in the past 12 months. So I'm really excited for the future.
Speaking of Christian Pulisic, what do you make of him kind of having a little bit of a struggle getting back on the field regularly with Thomas Tuchel? I know he's had him in the past, but as someone who, faces sort of the same thing, moving to a new team and maybe not having all that immediate confidence with a new manager and new coaches, what would you say to Christian Pulisic, or what do you make of it?
I can't really speak on the whole matter, obviously, because it's two different levels of football. Obviously I'm at Boavista, he's at Chelsea, but I experienced it with the change of manager. It's not easy in the slightest. New rules, new formations, new types of angles you have to show for, new tendencies. It's hard. I haven't started every game for Boavista. I started most of them, but sometimes the coach doesn't see you as the best fit because he views you in a different light than another coach. So I think obviously with as talented of a kid as Christian is, he's doing a superb job, especially at a club as grand as Chelsea. I think, he's always a positive mind. He's always a positive spirit at camp. And I think he's doing so much within the world of football, showing the world what Americans can do, along with obviously Weston and Dest and everyone. I think he's doing a super job. And obviously, when he gets fully back on the field, fully back in that 11, I know he's going to be the most dangerous player on the pitch, as he always is. So I'm really looking forward to the future.
The other thing I wanted to ask about, obviously, you went before the transfer to Boavista. Obviously, there was a very big story, especially with you. You've been very vocal about it. You've spoken about it on a couple podcasts and things like that. But the scenario where obviously when fans were let back in to MLS matches, and during the beginning of the match when people were kneeling and dealing with the booing and dealing all the jeers and things like that, it was obviously a frustrating thing for us to witness. You were very vocal about it, and I'm glad that you were. But just looking back on it now, how are you feeling? I know we're still dealing with it. The fight never really ends. But how are you feeling? When you can reflect a little bit after some time.
I'm honestly, it happened. I have no spite or grudges or bitterness to Dallas. They've helped me so much in my career. They've given me an opportunity, and obviously I took the most of it. Obviously when it comes to that stuff, I'll always speak up, whether right or wrong. Because I think it's important to spark conversation, because that will lead to a chance to educate people, especially on what's going on in people of color's lives, especially everything going on now. I think it's important to demonstrate that, because it sparks conversation, which gives a chance for education. So, obviously the situation was complicated, but, obviously with Dallas, I have no grudges. I'm fortunate to everyone there, the coaches, the staff, the owners. I moved on. I'm making the most of my opportunity now. And, come summertime, we'll see what happens, because I've been committed to Boavista, and I love this club so much, man. And I've been fighting week in, week out for it. And, I just obviously want to keep my club in the first division at this point. So I'm going to keep improving, keep going. And, obviously with no grudges or bitterness toward Dallas, because they've done a lot for me. So.
When Serginho Dest, a player that you guys know, Serge, as you guys call him, now we're all on nickname basis, when he scores a brace for Barcelona, what is that group chat like? Are y'all bigging him up, or are you messing with him like you should have got 3?
No, we're actually roasting him at camp right now for that underwear shoot he did. That was something else, man. But no, he's making waves, bro, in world football, and that's exactly what we want to see from our guys. Because that ultimately sparks competition within the group, and then that sparks even further adaptation. So I think this group is developing so nice, and it's just going to be a matter of finding results and finding new ways to advance forward. So obviously scoring a goal or 2 goals for Barca on the weekend, and then having Messi run over to celebrate with you, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. So obviously we're very happy for him, and obviously we're going to keep supporting him.
All right, Reggie Cannon, thank you so much
Reggie.
for joining us, man. Best of luck at camp. Best of luck, at Boa Vista. I hope you guys stay up. And since the last time we spoke to you, you did get married as well. So congratulations as well. Look, our little man's growing up. It's great to see.
Oh man, was Eminem played at the wedding? Yes or no?
It was not played at the wedding. I was very mad. I was very mad at my wife, but.
All right.
Thank you so
the
much,
matrimony
man.
is off to a rough start, but it's all good. It's all good. Reggie Cannon, again, best of luck at camp. Best of luck at the friendlies. And thank you so much for joining us, man, on the show, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. We'll be right back with more Cooligans Living Room FC.